Wondering why the Braves made 2 weekend deals for pitching help. The answer to the second is the answer to the first, they hope. Bob Horner put on a furious display of power baseball today at the stadium in Atlanta. And the Braves lost to Montreal in the process 11-8. It was banner day for Atlanta, Fulton County, and for Horner here in the second inning. This solo shot, and the Braves lead it 1-0. Their only lead of the day, because in the top of the fourth, Expos leading 2-1. Al Newman takes a Zane Smith pitch deep to left, a 2-run homer, his first major league shot, and the Expos lead it 4-1. Back to the big guy, bottom of the fourth, same score. Horner drives it to right center off Andy McGaffigan. It is 4-2 Montreal. Bottom of the fifth, 2 on. Expos lead at 10-4. Horner again, back. A 3-run shot this time, his third of the day, 10-7 Montreal. And then in the bottom of the ninth, 11-7 Expos. Horner again facing Jeff Reardon.
Delivers. There's a fly ball deep left center field. Right looking up. He did.
The fourth one of the day, the 17th of his year. Only 11 men in Major League history have ever done that before. The last time, Mike Schmidt in a 10-inning game in 1971. Willie Mays 10 years earlier in 1961 was the last guy to do it in a 9-inning game. And yet the Braves lose it 11-8, and that dulled Horner's achievement.
Well, you don't ever plan anything like that happen in your career. It's one of those things that happens once in a lifetime. Never expect anything like that to happen, but it did, and I just wish we would have won the ball game.
The Braves made 2 of the more curious deals of the weekend, trading for a couple pitchers they originally let go years ago. Saturday, getting Doyle Alexander from Toronto for a minor league pitcher by the name of Dwayne Ward. Today, dealing Joey Johnson to those same Blue Jays for reliever Jim Acker. 34 runs in 3 weekend games with the Expos is a chief reason why.
Steve Carlton wasn't traded. He was outright released by the Phillies, a team he had pitched for since 1972 and piled up an unsurpassed 4 Cy Young Awards with. But Philadelphia had no further need of his services with a 4-8 record and more than 6 earned runs a game. San Francisco saw otherwise, signed him, even got him to speak, but could he still pitch? Well, about 40,000 turned out, put the Giants past their attendance of a year ago to see if Carlton could still pitch. Against St. Louis, the worst hitting team in baseball, Carlton may not be ready yet. The first run of the game, Tito Landrum knocks in, but Carlton gave up 3, and he couldn't finish the 4th inning. He gave way, but the Giants didn't. They came back to tie it, took the lead 5-3 in the 8th, then blew it open with the help of the Cardinals. Andy Van Slyke makes the catch, but Mike Heath can't make it on the other end. The ball gets kicked loose. Now, Heath will try to nail the runner at third base, throws it right past Terry Pendleton. Scott Geraltz comes on to score as well. They score 6 runs in the 8th inning and vault their lead to a 1.5 games in the West. And although Carlton crept back into his no-comment character, new manager Roger Craig felt his performance was worth talking about.
You know, here's a guy that's a Hall of Famer, and he still wants help, and you know, he says he feels good. He says, I know I can help you. He says, I just need to get my strength back and get my rhythm back and get my fundamentals down.
On to Shea Stadium, where the Mets wind up the holiday weekend hotter than Ellis Island fireworks. 8 victories in their last 9 games going in, 10 more wins total than any other team in the National League. Winding up a weekend series with the Houston Astros. Hot day, but how could there be so many hot people with all those fans in the stands? But the Houston Astros are the ones that got cooled off. In the third, Mets leading 2-0. Kevin Mitchell, the super sub they call him, hits one down the line and left. Number 5 on the year for him, and the Mets lead is now 3-0. And that was all that Sid Fernandez would need on this day. Here he gets John Mizrock, one of 5 strikeouts on the day. Fernandez goes 6 2/3 for the victory. His 11th of the year, becomes the first National League pitcher to reach that mark. As the Mets win it 5-3, they've now won 9 out of 10. Around the rest of the National League, Gary Templeton sacked fly in the 4th, wins it for Andy Hawkins. San Diego by 1 over Chicago. Los Angeles wins only the... In this one, he could be out for a little while. Meanwhile, Philadelphia, 12-5. Alone in first place. 7 extra base hits in the 8-run 3rd inning for them, and that paid off in a 12-5 victory. Gary? Well, then, as of the business, bottom of the 6th inning, Boston clinging to a 2-1 lead. Presley will boot. There's Don Baylor, a shot to third. Marty Barrett will score. It's 3-1 Boston, and that would be all that Seaver would need. Bottom of the 7th, 3-2 Sox. Tony Armas will hit this hanging curve from Mark Langston off the wall and left. And that would be it. Seaver wins his 2nd as a Boston Red Sox pitcher. 7-3, the final score. Meanwhile, at Comiskey Park in Chicago, the White...
The Rangers have been rough on their guests in Arlington, including a 9-3 rout Saturday of Detroit. But Sunday afternoon, they unraveled. An otherwise great performance by Bobby Witt, who struck out 14 in 8 innings. But with the bases loaded, Witt uncorks a wild one. And Darnell Cole scores. The Tigers take a 3-1 lead. But the bases were reloaded. Dwight Lowry at the plate. And now watch Witt trying to keep the man on third, juggles the ball. That is a balk and another run for the Tigers. It is 4-1. Bobby Valentine is beside himself in the Texas dugout, but nothing he can do about it. The lead has slipped away for good. And